In some states, age of 10, 11, 12, 14. What you need is the consent of the parent. If the parent gives consent to a court, the local court, the county court, or the state court, they can marry at that age.
But in Islam, doesn't the girl need to give consent as well?
In vast majority of cases, yes. Yeah. So,
but was she mentally mature to consent?
Let me finish. So therefore, today in 2003, we have a liberal democracy, which is a secular state, no religion, secular, not pulling on the Bible or the Quran or anything, who are enabling young adults at the age of 10 onwards to marry today in the United States.
And I don't agree with that.
That's your prerogative.
Yeah.
That's your prerogative. Yeah. And you know what? That's also the prerogative of the parent. Because the 10, 11, 12, 14-year-old can go, Mom, I've met Jason. Or Jason, or Dad, I've met Mary. Right. And I want to get married. And them as parents can say, you know what? I don't think you're ready yet. I'm not going to give consent to the court, so therefore wait.
But
that's their prerogative.
I'm not talking about regular people. I'm talking about someone who's a prophet.
Yes.
The best example to all of mankind.
Yes.
And you should be able to follow him as
No.
well.
No. See, the thing is this. In relation to the age of Aisha, it's not compulsory on me. He taught certain things that were compulsory, that we have to do, like prayers and fasting and blah, blah, blah. There are certain things that he did where there was a wisdom behind it. I'll give you one of the wisdoms. The wisdom around the marriage of Aisha radiallahu anhu is that she lived as his wife in his household. Yeah? So you know earlier on we talked about hadith. She is I believe she's number 3 in terms of the amount of hadith narrated. Out of all of the people who knew him. So we've got a plethora of narrations from her. And a lot of them are from the household, in the inner sanctum of his household. So we know how he treated his wives, how the relationship between the husband and the wife, setting up the conversations about the Quran and why it was revealed and the meanings, the exegesis of the Quran and certain things. So that's one of the wisdoms there that we've learned from her. And we believe it was ordained by God. Now, does that negate his prophethood? Does it really negate his prophethood? I don't think so.
I don't think that he's the best example for all of mankind.
Yeah, you don't.
I think that, no, I know, I'm saying from my opinion. Everything I say is from my opinion.
Where did you get your opinion
because
from?
If you can lead by example, that means people can do as you do.
Yeah, but there's criteria. I'll give you an example. If someone, a 30-year-old man, wanted to marry an 85-year-old woman, they can marry.
But that
let me finish.
No,
let me finish.
Yeah.
They can marry. But if a doctor deems that intercourse with an 85-year-old would be detrimental to her physically, under Islam they're not allowed to have sex.
But that doesn't exist.
What do you mean doesn't exist? What I'm telling you is, one of the principles of safeguards in relation to marriage is physical harm. Be it a 9-year-old, be it a 15-year-old, be it an 83-year-old. That's one of the criteria.
But a 9-year-old, you can't compare a 9-year-old body to a 30-year-old body.
I never said 30, I said 85.
Oh, an 85-year-old woman.
Sorry, yeah, maybe you didn't understand, no problem. So yes, that's what I meant, yeah.
That is marriage between 2 consensual adults.
What constitutes an adult? For you?
I would say
your opinion.
Physically and emotionally mature enough to make their own decisions.
Yeah. Tell me a bit more about that. How do you determine that in an individual?
By how they act, how they are able to comprehend things.
Okay.
So you're agreeing?
With what?
You two are agreeing?
With what?
Because he's on the same principle.
And I don't believe a 9-year-old is physically and mentally in any shape or form.
And we can understand why you would believe that.
I'm a woman and I have nieces that are very small.
Yeah, and exactly the time in which you are living as well plays a part.
But it doesn't matter if it's in the 7th century
It does
now. medical evidence that somebody who's 9 years old, like 9 years old, is mentally and physically ready or mature enough to accept the marriage and to have sex?
Okay, so do we have an arbitrary date of birth, or do we gauge it on an individual basis?
What do you mean?
Do we have a set date of when someone can marry? Age. Do we have a set age of when someone can marry, or do we put it on the individual? Assess the individual individually from a personal circumstance. Okay, so Aisha was already engaged to someone prior to the Prophet, and the engagement was nullified, and then the Prophet became engaged, age of 6, and then they got married. Okay, and then he waited 3 years. Why did he wait 3 years to consummate the marriage? Because it was deemed she was not ready. So the Prophet and the parents deemed at the age of 9, like you said, as an individual, she was ready. So that was already done.
That's debatable.
No problem. You can accept it or reject it.
You can't say that.
With her testimony.
I know. That's what I'm saying. The hadith.
She said
The hadith. Yes. Say. Yeah.
She said herself that she was mature.
Yeah. She said it herself. There's a hadith.
But what I'm saying
So-
is a 9-year-old
so look,
is not able
look,
to consent to
look,
marriage. They're not mentally.
look,
Where's
she
your
had different
medical
time.
evidence that
Sunnah.
the 9-year-old
Sunnah.
is more mature today than in the 7th century? Where's your medical evidence?
Look.
I'm a woman. I'm
Look.
not lucid. I know
Look.
that mentally.
Look.
That's your medical
But
evidence.
there's just
That's not
stages of childhood
Look.
development.
Look.
You are not bringing medical evidence.
We've agreed.
Yeah.
You said there should not be an arbitrary age set, 16, argument set. We should look at each individual's case at that moment in time and assess whether, arguments say 12, 14, 18, whatever. Yeah? I'm telling you that the hadith she states is that they married at the age of 6, as you said. They consummated at 9, as you said. The hadith comes from her own testimony, saying at the age of 9, she was mature enough. Okay. The parents consented as guardians, as safeguarding her. They consented because they believed she was mature enough.
Did she consent?
She consented as well, yes.
Can a 9-year-old consent to marriage?
She could at that time. Because, see, you agreed with me, and now by asking that question, it seems you're disagreeing.
No.
That specific case,
Yeah.
she consented. The parents consented.
Yeah.
They felt she was ready. They all agreed. She got married at 9. They waited 3 years. They got married at 6. They waited 3 years. They consummated the marriage at 9. She, with her own testimony, said she was mature and ready. Physically, meaning she was on her period, and mentally she was ready.
But my question
Now,
to you,
you've agreed.
is a 9-year-old
She was,
But can you prove it?
by her own testimony.
No, can you prove that a 9-year-old can mentally is mentally
Yes.
mature enough? Can you prove it?
Yes.
Where's the medical evidence?
Oh, you want medical evidence? Okay, look at this. NHS. Can I finish? This is the NHS UK. NHS UK.
Don't show it to me.
NHS UK. National Health Service UK. So this is physical. This is physical. As your child gets older, their body will start to go through changes known as puberty.
Yes.
Puberty usually, not on a minority standpoint, usually occurs between the ages of 8 and 14 and can last up to 4 years. Okay, so usually 8 to 14, they reach puberty. She reached puberty at the age of 9. Herself and her parents deemed it that she reached puberty, she physically and mentally matured to marry.
Reaching puberty
That's
means
why
that you're mentally mature.
they deem it, like I said,
you accept
Can I
it?
finish? Like I said,
You accept it?
like I said, we've agreed that there should not be an arbitrary age.
It depends on the circumstances for adults, not for children.
What constitutes the child?
The
What?
physical and mental
Yeah, you say this.
development.
Break it down for me. What
I
constitutes the
can't
child?
break it down.
Why? You must do. I mean, if you
All
stop.
I know is that
Yes.
I bring next like I'm gonna come again on Sunday. All I know is that I do believe a 9-year-old is not mentally mature enough to consent to a marriage.
Based on what?
Because a 9-year-old's not mentally mature. But
Based on what?
based on my own experience and based on
No problem.
Presentism.
No problem.
But I'm gonna bring back.
That's
the
not a
evidence.
problem. That's your opinion.
No, I'm bringing.
That's
I'm
your
bringing-
opinion.
That's not evidence that if someone who reached puberty mentally
You're-
mature
that's-
consent to marriage.
That's your
I
problem.
understand that parents can consent 100%. I can
The
understand
evidence
that
from the
point.
Listen.
NHS, do you accept it?
I accept that you can reach puberty at that age. I don't accept that you're mentally mature because you reach puberty.
No problem.
Right.
No problem.
But that's not this. That's
No
not
problem.
discrimination.
So what I've done is show testimony from her parents, that they accepted a marriage at 6, that she says she matured at the age of 9. They all agreed to consent to consummate the marriage at 9. They themselves testify to that fact. I said, what we do is we don't have an arbitrary age. We, as you agreed, we look at the individual and assess
Individuals or adults.
and assess it on an individual basis. And you agreed with me.
You can have somebody
Now-
25 years
now-
old who's not capable
now-
of making that decision.
I agree. I agree.
So that's fine, but what
I
I'm saying
agree.
is that
I agree
but that's
more.
because they're not meant that it's got to do with their mental.
I agree
health.
more than you. Like I said, from a physical standpoint, if a 30-year-old was to marry an 85-year-old woman, it could be dangerous in terms of them having sexual intercourse. As with a 9-year-old, it goes both ways.
What I'm saying is,
So therefore, we look at safeguarding in relation to what? To puberty, in terms of not only puberty, but physically and mentally. So much so that states in the United States have the same principle today in 2023.
But what I'm saying is I'm looking at individual circumstances. Say, for example, between two 25-year-olds. One might not have the mental capacity to make that decision, one might do.
And in Islam,
But
that's
I'm
not
never
allowed.
going to accept that there'll be a 9-year-old that does and a 9-year-old that doesn't.
Okay. In Islam,
I just believe that
in
all
Islam,
9-year-olds
in
are
Islam,
Based on what?
It's not allowed.
Based on
I
what?
said I'm going to bring back
Based on what?
evidence, my own experience and the fact that I've got nieces.
Right. So your nieces,
Yeah.
your perception. Yes, possibly.
Yeah.
But there could be places in the world where that's not the case.
Right.
So what I'm saying is, it's not carte blanche blanket. If it is, you should renege on your statement that it's based on the individual circumstance. If that's the case, you should say no. I think the age should be 12.
No, for adults.
It should be
only.
18. What's an adult?
Individuals. that
What's
are
an adult?
adults only.
What's an
Me,
adult?
You, him,
No,
you.
give me the classification of an adult. Break it down.
I think anyone's over 18.
There we go. So now you've reneged on your point.
That's my personal
No problem.
opinion.
What's your name, by the way?
Abby.
Abby, Idriss. So therefore, you've subtracted your statement to say it's on the individual. Now you're saying 18,
But 9-year-old is not an adult.
but 18 is.
I believe 18 is a good choice.
Let me ask you a question. Is 17 years and 11 months an adult?
I wouldn't say that they're an adult yet.
Huh?
I wouldn't say they're an adult yet.
See you later. Bye, Abby.
No, but there's-
It's electrical.
No,
1 month, you're not an
How
adult.
can you compare 9-year-old to
Let me tell you this. Let me tell you this. Let me tell you this, Abby. Let me tell you this, Abby. You have Sarah. Sarah. Yeah? She's 17 years old and 11 months.
right?
At the age of 15, she started to learn to fly an F-35 fifth generation fighter jet. She's had 2 tours in a fictional land, Swazi Combo land. She's done 2 tours. Yeah, she's shot down 25 MiG-25s. Yeah, she's flown. And wait, let me finish. 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 She has flown in an Apache helicopter and taken out half a battalion single-handedly. Yeah, she has a boyfriend. She has a child out of wedlock. But according to you, she's not an adult because she's 17 years old and 11
But
months.
she's mentally.
Illogical. 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 You see that?
It's not
It
illogical.
is.
It isn't
It
because
is.
I accept that what you're saying is that I'm making a decision that at 18 years old, yeah, people are more mature.
You know what it's on?
to
Do you know
make-
what it's on, Abby?
Wait, can I finish?
It's on your
Can I
feelings.
finish?
It's on your feelings.
I
It's on your
understand.
feelings.
I understand. It's not emotional. So you're saying that if I should accept that a 9-year-old can consent to marriage?
I didn't say you should. I'm saying you're arguing from a present state, and you are not looking at those cultures and the differences.
Okay, what I will say is that when it comes to medical evidence, I have to get it and come back, but I don't accept that a 9-year-old is mentally mature enough to make that kind of decision.
America disagrees.
It's fine.
I don't care about
America
America.
disagrees.
I don't care
It's
about
fine.
America.
But you are just you.
America disagrees.
That's fine. I mean, if you go and speak to other women in this
the facts
world
don't care about your
who've
feelings.
got children, if you go and speak to any woman in
Facts
this
don't care
world,
about your feelings. Come with facts.
I will come with that. I think we're going to wrap it up anyway.
Of course. Thank you. I think you should open-mindedly
I'm
understand.
not open-minded about child marriage. Never was.
Can I speak? I think you should open-mindedly understand the Islamic concept. Yes?
I don't accept that a 9-year-old can
I'm not telling you to accept that. I want you to accept the Islamic concept when it comes to marriage and stuff like that and having sex. Because it's not just marriage is not like in your mind where it has only to do with sex. That's not the Islamic concept. So what's your thought on the Prophet married to other people who are older than him, to widows? What's your
Firstly, I
thought?
don't believe in marriage between more than one man and one woman.
Fine.
I mean, a man marrying more than one woman, sorry.
Fine.
So I don't believe in that anyways. I think that's adultery.
Can I read
And
this?
having sex before marriage with another woman is fornication.
Can I say this? That's a different topic. Can I say
That is
this?
a different topic. So
Can
we'll
I say
come on to
this?
that at a different time.
Can I say this? Right. Child marriage is currently legal in 43 states. Can I finish? Can I finish? Brother, can I finish? Child marriage is currently legal in 43 states. Only Delaware, Massachusetts, Minnesota, New Jersey, New York, Pennsylvania, and Rhode Island have a set minimum age of 18, as you've said, and eliminated all exceptions. And 20 US states do not require any minimum age for marriage. Any minimum age for marriage. What you need to do is the parents go to court, the court looks at it, they say yes or no, like we do. A 9-year-old may be deemed not suitable for marriage, as with an 85-year-old may not be deemed suitable for marriage because of sex. They can choose to get married and abstain from sex, but if you want sex with her, or vice versa, they may say no, it's detrimental to her physically. Just like America.
All 9-year-olds, I don't believe can consent.
It's okay, but guess what? Guess what?
There are some 85-year-olds who can.
Abby, guess what?
70, 80,
Abby, guess what? In 2023, 20 states in America, in a secular liberal democracy, disagree with you.
That doesn't matter to me.
No problem.
That's me.
Abby, thank you for your time.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Thank you for keeping it respectful.
Likewise, honestly, likewise.